Good morning. Reverend Gabe Beauregard here with the Alpine Church's Spiritual Living. Another Sunday service coming up right now, right here. So let's go ahead and start with our thought for the week that I had written earlier about our theme for today, our topic for today. It begins, Robert H. Schuller said, "Tough times never last, but tough people do." How true! Tough times are upon us. That is to say, we are all being asked to step up, to go beyond our norm. We are being asked to do and be more than we've previously experienced. And in that sense, those who are ready and set for the task are on duty. Persistence, perseverance, and patience are all qualities of strong individuals and companies that are showing up today. I saw on the news where a company that normally makes motor oil has changed its line of production to mass producing hand sanitizers. The leader of this company is listening to his higher consciousness and responding. It takes a why not and a can-do attitude to step up to the next level of contributing to the moment at hand. And whether or not a person admits it, they are being willing and available for spirit to work through them. There are so many companies out there now honing in on creating a vaccine for this virus. These things typically take 10 years or more to develop, though we are being told these companies are on the brink of discovering a remedy now. Benjamin Franklin said, "Energy and persistence conquer all things." The energy to which he is referring in my mind comes from the infinite potential which we are all living in, of, and as. This energy can never be destroyed, only changed and transformed, which it will do on a continual basis. Patience is more than a virtue. It's the ability, once we've done our part, to wait the process of the divine to bring about life's changes. I once read that patience is being at peace with the process of life. In all things and through all ways, I believe that all of us really, truly just are desirous of peace. Say with me, as my life is changing, I am available to be fluid, to respond with new and innovative ideas. I am willing to do what is mine to do and let the grace of God carry me through with clarity and peace. And it is so. Let's go ahead and just go within for a moment here. Take a deep breath and recognize and honor and worship this divine being that is within us, that is all around us, for it is all. This divine being that we call love and source and energy, and that beautiful beloved. Feel that energy all around you and in and through you right now. Know that we can never be separated from this one divine source. And that when we lean into it, when we allow ourselves to be guided by it, our lives unfold in miraculous ways. So let's take a moment now, knowing that there will be a message that will be coming forth in a few moments, that each one of us has ears to hear and a heart to listen, that the wisdom that will come to each of us is for our ears and our hearts only. So let's go within and ask, what is the message for me that will be coming forth now? That still small voice is always, always active within us. And when we go into the silence, we are available. We are led and guided by it. So I merely say thank you. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, for this life that we have to live, this gift of life that you have given us. I am so very grateful. Thank you, thank you. And together we say, and it is so. Amen. Well, our theme this month has been based on Dennis Merritt Jones's book, The Art of Uncertainty, which I thought was pretty appropriate for the times that we have now. And it's in the foreword, he wrote, "What if we could learn to accept, I don't know, and to embrace the possibility that the future is full of mystery, excitement, and unlimited possibility." Boy, I love the way that he sets the stage for just asking the question and just making the statement, I don't know. And not having it be a negative, not having it be, oh my gosh, I don't know what's going to happen next, and have it be fearful. No, have it turn it around and say, hey, I don't know what's next. There's a mystery about it. There's an excitement about it. There's an opportunity about it. Excuse me. And so I love the way that that sets up the whole thing about being uncertain. Hey, life is going to be giving us something that we don't know yet, that we have not yet experienced. Now, I told you I am babysitting now for my granddaughter. She just turned 2 on April 10th. Both my son and daughter-in-law work full-time out of the home, and their daycare is closed. So I'm over there every morning, between 7 and 8 o'clock, going and watching this little girl until I get her down for her nap. Well, one of the evenings this last week that they were down, just playing around or whatever after work, I was not even there. And but they videotaped this. Adeline is her name. Adeline went into their office and she was playing with the computer, and she had the mouse, that she was moving around. And my daughter-in-law was videotaping her. And so my son is sitting next to her out of the camera sight. You can't see him, but you can hear him. And he says, Adeline, do you know what that is in your hand? That she was moving the mouse around. And she looked at him and she says, no, I don't know. And he said to her, that's a mouse. And she took the mouse up and she looked at it and she took it closer to her face and she went, what? And at that point you heard my son laughing hysterically and the video stopped. But what made me think of it is, oh my gosh, can you imagine that just the unknown in her face, like, what do you mean? What, this is a mouse? I imagine her mind might be thinking, where's the tail? And so it's interesting how that she said, I don't know what it is. And she was ready and waiting for the answer. And when it became the mouse, boy, that was a little confusing for her. One more little Adeline story I wanted to share with you. And that is that Burke was telling me that they came across a box in their living room. And there was a CD in it. And now I'd let you understand that Burke and Lindsay do not have CDs because they do everything online. When I wrote my book and I had the song that went with it, the publisher was telling me, oh, we can make a CD and we'll put it in the book for you. And my son says, Mom, what do you want a CD for? Nobody uses CDs anymore. And okay, well, I am going to the market of people that have children that are 3 and 5 years old. So I better go to that market. I'm not going to do the CD. But he comes across a CD in this box and he lifts it up and he asks Adeline, do you know what this is? And he was, I'm sure, thinking that, well, she's not going to know what this is. She's never seen it around the house. She looks at him and she goes, oh yes, that's a compact disc. And he was like, what? How did you come up with that? Well, she watches a program called Blippi. I don't know if you know Blippi or not, but Blippi teaches little toddlers interesting day-by-day different things in life, and she learned that from Blippi. So our topic this morning is one of Jones's chapters. It's entitled Persistence, Perseverance, and Patience. And I love the a quote from Robert H. Schuller that was in there. I added in the thought for the week. Tough times never last, but tough people do. And I think it was probably in the first week in April that I'm believing that I had written and had shared with you that this too will pass. I mentioned that in the Bible, it's mentioned over 1,200 times. This too shall pass, or it came to pass. And I used to have a friend, she's passed on now to a greater, I'm sure, higher reward, but Connie Davis used to add to that saying, it came to pass, it didn't come to stay. And I've always used that. It came to pass. It didn't come to stay. Its intent was not to stay. And so life is about evolving, about changing, about growing, about revealing more of this infinite self and source that we are. That's just what it is. And so for us to accept, I don't know, is just such the way of life. And it's interesting though, because we can't accept anything new unless we let go of what we have. And that, of course, is a very much of a challenge for the ego. One of the quotes that I have on my board that I saved from Wayne Dyer says, enlightenment is the ego's biggest disappointment. Because we want to be in control. We want to know what's going to happen. We want to be knowing that, okay, I can handle this. But when we recognize that this infinite being that we are in and of, it knows, and it's handling it, and it's doing it perfectly, when we align ourselves with that knowing, then there isn't any need to control. There isn't any wondering what if. We are in that flow of the divine, safe and secure in all ways. And in knowing that, it takes letting go, it takes releasing. Everything that has come before will go. It will pass. As I was over at their house the other day, I said, hey, whatever happened to that little stroller that I gave Adeline for her first birthday? It was made to teach the child how to walk. It had these little buttons that you push, and look, you're walking and all this. I said, whatever happened to that? And my daughter-in-law said, oh, we repurposed that. She's gone beyond it. She's grown beyond it. How many things have we in our lives now that we have outgrown, that need to be out-purposed, that need to be repurposed, that need to be let go and move on to something else? And I'm not talking just about the size of your clothing. I'm talking about ideas, expectations, judgments. Oh my goodness. I was talking to somebody the other day and he's saying that, I'm just really trying to move much more into this sense of being with the Spirit and letting go of judgment. And how great is that? So great. Last year, just about almost, well, it's been not quite a year ago, Reverend Uta Marie Sedilla came to our church in Alpine, and she had a workshop she presented to give us the various, many different translations of the Lord's Prayer in the original Aramaic version of Jesus's language, his natural language. And there's just so many ways to interpret it, and the translations are variable depending on this ancient language. And so she taught us some of them that were available, and I have chosen, well, actually I've known her for years and years, and that's why I invited her. And so I have gleaned, or I have taken to heart one of these translations, and I say it every morning. And I think it's important to get a new perspective on this prayer and what it does for us internally. So I want to share it with you. It says, "O birther, mother, father of the cosmos, focus your light within us. Make it useful. Create your reign of unity now. Your one desire then acts with ours. As in one light, so in all forms. Grant what we need each day in bread and in sight. Loose the cords of mistakes binding us as we release the strands we hold of others' guilt. Don't let surface things delude us, but free us from what holds us back. From you is born all ruling will, the power and the life to do, the song that beautifies all. From age to age it renews. Truly, power to these statements. May they be the ground from which all my actions grow. And some of the key points in that prayer that really speak to me are the fact that I want the Creator's light to be useful in me. I want the Creator's life to be useful for me to do something with it. I honestly believe that's why we're here on this earth plane, is to use this physical body, these physical functions that we have, to do something. To have its desire be mine in all forms. Let all forms, let their desire be its desire. To loose the cords of mistakes binding us as we release the strands of others' guilt. Let go of that judgment. And to not let surface things delude us. Wow, what is at the depth? What is the deeper meaning of what is going on in my life right now? And from age to age, it renews. It changes. It grows. It evolves. It is ever moving forward. And I want to be there for its purpose, for that unknown, for that uncertainty of what is coming next that I don't know. Wow. Use me, oh God. I'm trusting my higher self that is always within me, that is always leading and guiding me to do what is mine to do right here and right now today. And so as we look at Dennis Merritt Jones's book on his chapter that we are focusing on today, that persistence, that perseverance, and that patience means that we take one moment at a time, that we settle in to being okay with what is going on right now. Throughout the book, he does give us mindful little exercises to do, to remember, to stay in the moment, to know what's going on right now. I think one of the easiest ways that we can stay in the moment and stay connected to the divine is to allow ourselves to look out at nature. I've got a couple windows in my office here that look out on beautiful, beautiful windows looking out on my garden. Well, yesterday in Alpine, I want to say that spring sprung. Well, spring probably didn't, and it felt almost like summer had sprung because it was like 91 degrees here. But I got out there yesterday morning early, and I had bought tomato plants that I wanted to plant. And I had these grow boxes that they come with a burlap top with a fertilizer, a time-release fertilizer that comes with them. Well, I had ordered them on April 4th. Well, anymore we're just instantaneous about, well, yeah, I've got Amazon Prime. I'm going to get this in 1 day, 2 days. And well, I ordered it from the company itself that generates them, not Amazon. And I was thinking I'll get it, within a week. I got them yesterday. It took forever for me to get these things. I finally got them. I was exhibiting patience, though, through the whole thing. Yeah. And so it was perfect yesterday. I got out there really bright and early, and I got all my tomatoes planted. And just being out there in nature, there's my garage is right adjacent to the garden. And for 3 years now, there's a bird. I don't know, are they the same birds? I have no idea. They're little birds. They're really cute. But they build a nest up on the top of the door of the garage underneath the eaves, and he was out there, I don't know what it was, out there chirping away, cute little song, um, unlike the other bird that comes every so often that has, I call him one note. I think, oh my gosh, well, I guess I'm showing judgment there, aren't I? In any event, when we look out at nature, we see the cycles. We know I'm planting this tomato plant. It's going to have a blossom on. It's going to grow. It's going to need support. I'm going to be able to harvest my tomatoes from it and enjoy them. And then it will have a dying out, and it will have served its purpose, and it'll go. We are like that. Let us be open and available to what is our purpose right now. Make it useful. Let me be in the moment, knowing that it is right and perfect. And just breathe and relax. Be open to what's next. I don't know. Let's wait and see. Let's know that God has this. I wanted to wrap this up this morning with repeating the affirmation that I have at the end of the thought for the week. And I know you don't have it available in front of you to read like we do at church. When we have it at church, you can just read it. So I'm going to read it in segments. And I'm asking, I'll take a break, and then you repeat it after me, okay? So it says, as my life is changing, I am available to be fluid and respond with new and innovative ideas. I am willing to do what is mine to do. And let the grace of God carry me through with clarity and peace. And it is so. Namaste. Have a beautiful, fantastic day and week. Love you.